Hello everyone, George here, and we're back in my implementation of FNAF, and we're still playing around with the security room. Why don't we go ahead and try to finish up as much as we possibly can. So, taking a look at our reference material, we need to bring our fan in here that we created in a prior episode. We also need that cup, we need this light up here, and we need to fix some things that are going on and texture as much as we possibly can. So let's dive in and get what we can done. So we had already done the fan prior, so let's go to File and Import. And there's fan 02, and it's way too big. So let's grab it. Hopefully it's grouped together properly, and it is. Scale it down. And let's just stick it somewhere up there on a vertex. And let's see, still too big. So the fan's height, according to the reference material, should be higher than the second box, which it is. But we can still play with that a bit and move it back now. And it looks like it's tilted somewhere like that, but now we're hitting that box. And so these boxes kind of need to move, is what I'm getting. So let's grab that box and push, whoa, and that then, and move them off. And they look like they're rotated as well, so let's tilt them. That's interesting. Getting a double transform on that, so I'll need to figure out what's going on there at some point. We won't worry about it just yet, because that's an optional type thing. All right, so there's that. We need the cup that's over here. That sits right on the desk. And actually, I'm gonna take some of these maybe and push them out of the way. Whoops, the planes need to come with us. Thank we go. There we are. Okay, save. And cup, cylinder, that's an easy one. So let's just make it right here. V, cup, up, and we can go with the 20, I guess, sidedness of it. Vertex, grab the bottom ones, scale them in a little bit because it's taller on ones. It's wider on the top than it is on the bottom. Grab these ones up here. Let's go to extrude. We'll bring it up this bit of it. Completely straight though. Let's make sure it's in world coordinates. Bring it up to there. Does have this little ridge thing, so we're going to do another one here. We're probably going to normal map this one because it's got a lot of fine detail like this, which I'm about to do. Let's do extrude. There's no reason for this cup to have so much detail in the actual game, but it does have these alternating facets, and this is one of the reasons why you might want to increase the poly count of this one and then normal map it down, because I might not have enough divots to make it seem like a cup. What I'm talking about is right here, and you can see those little, the crinkles in the plastic that kind of have it attach to the top of the cup. So let's do, yeah, if anything, I will probably need more of these, or this is something we would want to bring in a ZBrush and add those elements and then, normal map. But it's not terribly important at the moment. All right. We don't have the top selected, do we? We do. We've got some of these, so I missed that. All right. I don't like how that looks at all. Let's bring it out, frame up, turn off wireframe. Yeah, let's go back in time. So I think this is something, the amount of detail in there based upon what I actually have is something that we're going to go and tackle elsewhere than right here, because it just doesn't make any sense. That might be normal mapped later on. We'll get to that at some point. But more importantly, we need the center of the cup and the straw, which we're just going to make as a part of this mesh. So let's go ahead, grab this ring, grow, and then shrink and shrink again. Let us do an extrusion into itself and to world and somewhere like that. Hit the G key, and now we have our straw. Straw comes straight up. That might be too thick for a straw. Depends what kind of drink I guess it is. If it's a slushy or a slurry, it's perfect. But that looks way too thick for what we're dealing with. So I'm going to grab these ones. I'm going to grab edge mode, actually. Edge mode, grab all of them. We're going to shrink in that dimension. Better. Better. Go with that for maybe a little bit more. And now we need the bend in the downwards bit. So let's go to, let's see here. Do I have a side that is perpendicular? Let's frame on up. Nope, so I'm going to need to use a curve for this. I can't use a trick. So let's go to curves, curves, come up, over, jump on in, and let's see. V, up, somewhere up there, somewhere down there, and then somewhere over there. Go to my control vertices and manipulate them. Just make sure things are aligned properly before we do anything. Okay. You can go with that. F8 twice. Click on the top of the straw, grab these, grab this, go to extrude, and then now let's do divisions. That's a lot of divisions, obviously, but that's also the bendy part of the straw. Let's see. Looks like we got a little bit of an issue right there. Yeah, see? It wasn't here. This is the problem. The curve path is in there. So let's go to modify center of the pivot. Now the curve is in there. Now I want to take this thing and center it to something. There we go. And now we got our straw. And if we want to, that's an excessive amount of detail for making that bend. So, you know, just go in here, delete some of the bits that really don't make any sense, that aren't capturing the overall shape, and, you know, get something you like. Oops, there we are. Yeah, see those, this is where the detail needs to be. There we go. Now we have our straw. Great. There's not a whole lot that goes on with this cup. If anything, it needs to be taller based on the reference material. So something like that. Already it looks better. And then of course it needs to be smaller. Let's D, V, snap it to the bottom. Go to here, make that smaller. We no longer need the curve. Whoops. We need to edit, delete by type, edit, delete by history. And now we can get rid of the curve. Okay, take the cup and move it somewhere over here, frame on up, scale it down, and the cup is about that big according to the reference material. Let's look at that again just to make sure. There's the cup, there's the straw, there's where it stops. The top of the cup should be at the bottom of that, which it just about is. I'll shrink it down just a little bit more. The cup is a little bit more narrow, so let's do that. And good, okay. Put that somewhere around there. Perfect. Next up, let's save our scene. Actually, let's go to File, Save Scene As, and just give ourselves a new save once we do any more changes. We need the light that's up here. Okay, so this is going to start out as, it looks like a ring. So if we take a look, or a cylinder, and then it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 sort of things coming down, supports, and then a central ring from there. So let's do this. So let's bring a ring in first. And X, snap it to the grid. Set the height, something like that maybe. And then thickness. And then somewhere, it's going to be thinner, it looks like, I think. Something like that we'll start with. Let's go over here. So I'm trying to get a sense. I think that's the thickness of it. And there's not a whole lot of... Yeah, okay. I'm just going to wing it. We're going to see what happens. I'm going to try to make it one solid object. So I'm going to make the subdivisions on this 40. Actually, radius is fine. I want the height to be larger. 0.5 for the height. And the radius is 1.5. Make it a little bit larger. Now I'm going to want to grab alternating pieces of this. So let's look at it from the top. And what I want are elements at roughly 45 degrees. So that's going to be there. There. No, I'm already off. I think I hit... See, I hit these breaks. So it's at 40, right? So if I rotate this, how much? 5 degrees? 4 degrees? 4 degrees? Let's do some math. What if I do 30 subdivisions? So 30 gives me that one and this one. But I feel like I want 4. Now I could just not combine them and have them be separate objects, which might end up being easier for me, because then I don't have to worry about how this thing comes back together. So let's do 40 and do that instead. And I'll make a curve that comes off and up from each one. So that's that bit. I just don't feel like, if you're looking at it from down here, it's got to be larger in the ring. So let's do 2. And let's make curves. What do you say? So curve tool. We'll look at it from the side. And let's do, I don't know, back. Let's get that wireframe on. So V and then 1, 2. It's going to just come up to another ring is what I'm going to make here. I'm just going to scale this one down. Do something like that maybe. I need to rebuild this curve to make it a little bit nicer. Or maybe put in another CV. You can be used to make this better, can't you? Do I have another CV someplace that I'm not seeing? Here's this one. Just feeling it out now, trying to find something that feels right for what we're doing. All right, we can go with that. So where is the, there it is. All right, let's grab the bottom, move that in, and give this a circle, and curve snap it. Come on, there you go. Curve, there we go. Scale that down to there. Grab this and let's do, what do we want to do? We want to do an extrusion, right? So surfaces, extrude, and now we've got that. We want the path to be fixed so it actually matches what we're trying to do here. And we want to go down to the original curve now. Go to the control vertex and start manipulating a little bit. Whoops. Let's go to the side view. Okay. Once again, now we're just playing, so feel free to make your curve however you want. All right. And it's still a little out. There we are. And actually, I'm gonna flatten that. Okay. The question is, who's ever going to see that? No one. That's the real question. Except for us. Okay, so let's grab this now. Go to Modify. And we want to do a conversion of NURBS to polygons. This always takes me a second to figure out how I want to do it. So if I hit apply on that one, it's a pretty good conversion. That's a hell of a lot. Let's see if we can't get down to maybe 16. Hate that. So that's our polygon mesh. That's all right. We can deal with it. Get rid of my curve. And yes, you should probably save this stuff in another file so that if you want to reuse it, you can. I'm just going to get rid of it. I'm going to take this now, make sure its pivot points in the center. D and X there, and Shift D, rotate 90 degrees. Shift D, whoops, Shift D, Shift D. Now we got 4 of those things for our light. If anything, it's a little too high up, this center area, and actually, I think this is a dome. So let's do this. Let's just try to fake this real quick. Can I do this? Can I go in here, edges, and collapse these? That wasn't good. Wait a second. That did that one, right? And we want to go out, grab these ones now, bring them up, and then merge them in the center. So now you got an inside and an outside. And then can I go now to this ring and do a bevel, make sure the fraction's large enough with enough segments for me to play with. And then now just start doing this. Never done that before, so that was an interesting solution. So, yeah, we probably want it to be like that, don't we? And the curvature is going to become more and more severe as we get closer to it. So that's where I need the detail to be fairly condensed. There we go. So we've created an outer area, and if we want to, we can even bevel that one. Give that another segment in there and round it down, and then grab this point here and maybe bring that in and come here, and let's go to edge. I am going to just bevel that once, give it one or two to work with, just so I can align these things a little bit better, because if I move it up too much, see, they're going to crisscross in each other's world. So this is going to become probably where the light goes on the underside, right? The same thing happens there. Okay, once again, you're probably not going to see a whole lot of this, but since we're in VR and you can walk around pretty much anywhere you want to, it does become a little bit of a problem. Bring that down. So that part's flat. All right, so now you got the dome, we got the other parts. That's great. Now we need the light bulb inside of it. And for that, we're going to need a cylinder. And that's a NURB cylinder. We don't want that. No NURBs. We want polys, please. W, and make it. There we go. And V, come on. World coordinates, or world move. There we are. Move that down. scale down. Let's go ahead back to wireframe, please. Bring this up and in there, down, D, the top, V. Come on. DV, top, DV, oh, come on. D, up, V, V. Don't give me shit. What are you doing, Maya? You, right there. Thank you. All right, that should be larger for a light bulb. All right, that's the screw-in part. Now we can take these faces, right? Do an extrusion, and are we going to break this light bulb at any point? Are we going to do anything strange with it? I don't know. I don't know if we want to make it separate. So there's this will be that where it screws, and then G, we're going to move this down. Actually, we're going to move it down to like there. Fan it out. Grab this insert edge loop tool somewhere there. I guess we can try this, and then I'll do the bevel trick again with more than one segment, something like that. And then for the lower half, we're going to want to get a sphere, I think. So let's grab a sphere right there. Stick it right there. The problem is I don't remember what my original size was, so we're just going to kind of fake this. I do only want half a sphere, so we're going to do something like this, I think. Good. F8. Down. Up. Is that the right number of sides? So we're missing a little bit, so we want something more like this, I think. And then edge, extrude. Just do this. Close enough. F8, grab you, combine the two of you, right click vertex mode, grab all of you. And let's see if we can't do a merge. Merge verts and change that threat. Whoa! 0.05. There we go. So they've been merged. Grab you, bring you down, and I don't know, round you out a bit. And this needs to change. The whole structure of a light bulb isn't a teardrop. It's going to kind of go in more, right? These need to be pumped up now. All of this needs to be pumped up. Moved up. Edge mode. This edge is bothering me. Better. This one's bothering me. Better. Really, the detail isn't perfect there, so why don't we grab that, shrink it down. I'm just trying to reallocate detail, but every time I do that, I'm finding myself wanting to do another one. There we go. Okay. Light bulb is in. If anything, the light bulb's a little bit too large. D, up, and V, and scale that down a little bit. All right, and of course this has to be attached to something on the roof, so why don't we go ahead and grab this edge loop, shrink it down, and grab the faces of this, which are actually, no, that's way too many polys for what we're about to do. So we're going to want just a cylinder. So let's undo that because that looked ugly. There we are. Grab another cylinder, V, and make it, and make it. And this one, we're going to make really, that's not what I want. Now that they've got all these stupid menus over here, I'm having a hard time finding which one. Let's just do 10. That's good. Whoa! Okay. That was something. That was cool. Scale that down and just take this. And since we kind of blew our poly limit here, we're just going to do that, I think. Grab all the elements here. I mean, all of these guys can be merged into one. Same thing with that, and really that too. Screw it. Let's just merge you all together for right now. We'll deal with it later on. D up, V to the top. Scale the whole thing down. Move it into the room. Alright. And move it to the top. And see where it is. Way too low. So let's grab all of you. Nope. Come on. There you go. Come on, Maya. There we go. Better. Maybe still too large. Okay. Edit, delete all by type history for right now, save, and I think that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hopefully in the next one we tackle more of these items that need to be done. I'll see you then. Remember, if you like the video, give me a like. If you dislike it, give me a dislike. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, remember to subscribe. See y'all later. Bye.